Word on the streets, it's Bowlznbeatz. What's good, everybody, and welcome back. It's your girl X, and today we have a special guest who will be performing at BEBEBOY Music Festival on August 20th and is well on his way to the top. Let's welcome BEBEBOY.
What's
good?
What's up? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
How you feeling?
Amazing. Happy to be here for
Good.
sure.
You better
for
be
sure.
excited. Come on.
Yes. Bowlznbeatz. Come on, you gotta bring the vibes.
Exactly.
You know?
So as I just mentioned, you're performing at BEBEBOY Music Festival.
Yes.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
exciting.
you.
That's going to be a huge audience. Have you performed at other places before?
So I recently just came off performing for the Latin Music Festival in Mississauga.
Cool.
That was a cool experience just because I feel like it's gonna be not similar, but almost like kind of the same vibe, you know. So like my culture and just really just like good vibes, you know. So I'm really excited for the upcoming one.
And I see we also have like other people from Toronto on the lineup too.
Yeah.
Who are you excited to see?
Yeah. I'm excited to see my boy Bunlo for sure.
Yes,
Altur. And there's a whole bunch. Like it's a lot. Honestly, I really rate all the sponsors behind it just because they're including us, you know?
Exactly.
So it's like obviously they're getting artists that are a bit bigger and are international already and bringing them to Toronto and giving us the opportunity to really showcase our talent. So I feel like that's just super inclusive. So I'm really excited and just humbled to be given the opportunity to, you know, to move forward with this.
Exactly. And it shows in your music. You're always switching between English and Spanish.
Yeah.
So I really like that too.
Yeah, thank you. And honestly, that's the one thing kind of the one niche I'm trying to pave as well, to kind of be like a crossover bilingual artist and really just do it right. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about who did it first, it's about who did it right. So.
I think that's a smart strategy because you're reaching out to a bigger audience, right?
Exactly. And now I feel like just with the crossovers in entertainment culture with like Rosalia and Travis Scott and, you know, like Rosalia and The Weeknd and all these different collabs, I feel like now it's more accepted to kind of to mix both cultures, you know what I'm saying?
It's true.
So now with like artists doing it like that and records coming out like that, it's almost like the doors have been open and like there's a big pressure off artists who are trying to do that, you know what I'm saying? So
and what perfect place to do it in Toronto. I mean,
we're
so multicultural.
Yeah.
It's perfect, right?
100%. And also I feel like it's a niche that people haven't hit yet in the city.
Yeah.
So it's like, why not kind of be a pioneer for that and really like, you know, try and push that culture as much as I can, you know?
Exactly. Like there's been a 1-2 festival, and I wouldn't even say festival, event. But there's never been a festival to put on like live music. I haven't seen that till now, which is great because I love reggaeton. So I'm like, finally, something where girls can fucking dance and like move to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the one thing that I really, so I spent a couple months in Miami with my boy Steve back there. And it was so different to see people dancing, in the clubs, because you go to clubs here and it's more so just like, hey, you're popping bottles and you're just acting cool, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like you go to Miami and it's like people dance, you know, and people dance like you hear reggaeton, you hear perreo, you hear like all these, and even in the hip hop clubs that I went to, people were turning up and dancing, you know. So it's definitely like the vibes are crazy, and I feel like Toronto can be that because we're so multicultural, you know what I'm saying? And we're so open, so it's like, why not really kind of bring that here, you know?
Exactly. And were you born and raised in Toronto?
Born and raised here, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. How do you feel like Toronto like influenced your music?
A lot. I feel like one of my biggest influences is like Drake, you know what I'm saying? So being from Toronto and just hearing that sound come up, you know, I wasn't even doing music whenever I heard about Drake. So it's like, even from a consumer standpoint, I feel like it's always really influenced me, you know, like artists like The Weeknd and even Bieber, and just having a whole bunch of talent from our city come out. It almost made it kind of like seem super reachable and possible to kind of build, to build a career, being from Canada and being from Toronto and really taking it internationally, you know. So that's definitely influenced not only my music, but just me as a person, you know, being from the city.
And you mentioned that you weren't even becoming an artist when Drake came out. So you haven't been doing this like for a long time.
Maybe like 5 years, 5 6 years.
So what was your inspiration that made you like, okay, I'm gonna do this?
So I feel like I've always kind of been around music. Like my mom played in the church choir and things like that. She still does actually. But
shout out mama.
Yeah, shout out moms. You know, she's like one of my biggest inspirations as well too. But I feel like I didn't really start to get into music, like writing music and writing my own songs around 5-6 years ago. I don't know. I was really influenced by Party Next Door as well. And I remember this one concert I went to. It was like back in 2000, like 16 or 15, he performed and he brought out Drake. And I was just like, yo, like the energy there was unmatched. And I really took it and I was like, this is like someone that's a next door neighbor type thing that has so much people here like for him, and like just singing the songs and bring people together with music. Like that's whenever it really became real to me. And I was like, honestly, I love it, you know. I feel like I have a way with words as well, so why not give it like my try at it, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's kind of whenever I really started taking it serious and really started trying to write songs, my own songs, you know.
So you write your own stuff.
Yeah.
Good. I gotta give you credit for that, because I
100%.
can't stand artists to do that. I understand, you know, you get to a certain point, you don't have as much time. You know, when you get bigger, you don't really have time. But you gotta start somewhere. You gotta show your talent when you're at the bottom and get to work.
I've written songs with other people, and like it really helps. It's just that for me, a lot of my music is super kind of like intimate, so it's hard to kind of speak about my experiences.
Oh,
with like,
that's funny.
You know what I'm saying? With like another person, it's like, how are you gonna know what?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the stuff is mainly just based off experience. So it's like I just feel like it's easier for me to write about what I did than for someone else to write about what I did. You know? So I think that's a big part. But I definitely I'm not closed off to it. And I would love to write with some of like, you know, the biggest songwriters out there, and like even just in terms of producing as well, you know, because like I produce some of my own records, so that's a form of songwriting as well in itself. So I've just been trying to tap in with like just the whole creative aspect of making a record, you know.
Honestly, that's quite impressive, because you have a lot of songs out already for someone who's been doing it for 5 years, and music videos as well. Like shout out to your whole team. I was gonna say one of the things I like about you are your music videos. Like they're so on point.
Thank you.
They're just like crisp, clean. Like even the girls, shout out them too. You know, they look good. Like just everything's on point. You know what I mean?
That,
and that's important when you're branding yourself as an artist.
100%.
So, what was your inspiration behind some of your tracks? Like, yikes! When I heard that, I was like, oh, I didn't expect that, because usually, you know, like you said, you're all like intimate, and then there you were like a little more grungy. I was like,
so yikes. Actually, shouts out to Louis. He's my videographer, and he's the one who's been doing all the music videos for me. But yikes was kind of I don't know. I just feel like I got the beat. My boy Spike, he gave me the beat, and I was like, nah. Like I heard the trumpets, and I was like, yo, honestly, like first of all, for me, whenever I'm making a record, it's like, okay, off the first 5-10 seconds, I already know if I like the beat or not.
Exactly.
So it's like for me, as soon as that hit, I was like, yeah, man, like I have to try my hand at it, you know? And I did it, and it was one of those records where it's like the way it makes you feel is how I was feeling whenever I heard it, and that's what I wanted to translate in that record. So yikes for me is almost just like a flex.
Yikes.
It's
for
yikes.
Real, right?
Yeah, yikes for real, you know? So it was definitely one of those things where I kind of wanted to embody my kind of my braggadocious side and kind of just like come with a different like vibe to me, you know. And yeah, it was one of those things where it came together. And you know, shouts out Mark from Night Owl Sound. He put on OVO Sound Radio. And that record got like a whole bunch of kind of legs in the city.
For sure.
You know,
I mean, it's like a Toronto style song.
Yeah,
right?
you know what
Toronto's
I'm saying?
really into like that
100%.
grungy rap.
It was really cool, because I feel it was my first record that kind of put me on the map in that side, you know. After the OVO kind of shout out, it was like a lot of eyes, obviously, you know what I'm saying? So from that, we kind of just kept going. But yeah, Yikes is definitely one of my favorite records.
That's
for
awesome.
sure. Yeah,
but don't get it twisted. I do like that you stick to your roots. You know, you stick to your Spanish rap.
Yeah.
You stick to the whole reggaeton vibe. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Like even in your music videos, Too Sweet, and I think it was like Touch Me. It was like super like sensual. You know, it was giving me pure Latin vibes. I think you even said it like Latin lover. All that.
For sure,
I was like, good. You're sticking to your roots, which I think is important, especially in Toronto. We, you know, showcase ourselves as multicultural, so we should act like it, right? And like put ourselves on. And so you've been saying you've been performing for the last 5 years in a lot of places. What has been your favorite performance?
My favorite performance,
or your most memorable, I should say.
Honestly, the one that just happened was pretty memorable. Just because it was my biggest stage yet. Yeah. And I just feel like I was performing in front of my people, you know. So that one was really cool. And also, I recently did a performance at Regular's Bar. Okay. Yeah, shouts out Regular's Bar. They actually closed down, but so
they closed down.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm sad.
It's a pretty iconic place.
Iconic. I'm sad. But yeah. So and honestly, I'm really humbled that I was like one of their last performers there. You know.
Exactly.
So that was about maybe what? It was like 3 weeks ago or a month ago at Regulars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we were there, and that was my first time I ever performed at NIMAT acoustic. And it was an intimate setting. There's maybe like 50, 60 people there.
Oh, okay.
But I just feel like the energy from the crowd and me, like, that was probably one of my most memorable like performances as well, just because it was so intimate, and like I've never ever performed anything acoustic before. So that was kind of my coming out to be like, hey, yo, I don't really need like all the studio After Effects to sound what I sound like, you know?
So like a true artist.
Yeah, so it was kind of me, and I was hella nervous, but to be honest, it was one of those things where I'm like, hey, like, this is what it is, you know, and this is the standard I want to hold myself to. So definitely those two have been like my most like memorable and kind of just like up there performances.
And do you ever get performance anxiety like before you get on stage?
When I was starting off, yeah.
Yeah. What did you do to help? Like, what was your routine?
Go in the washroom and pray.
I
swear. It's like, there was this one. I was like so fucking nervous, and literally like I just kind of saw like the people start building up, and I was like, man, like, fuck, like I'm about to do this for real. So I go into the washroom, I'm like, yo, please God, like please let this, like, you know, like let this kind of just like be like, let this go well for me type thing. And
funny. Your mom would be proud of you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So definitely, I mean, like in terms of pre-routine or like for shows, more so just getting myself in a good headspace, you know, and kind of just like putting myself in that like vibration that I would like if I was a consumer or if I was someone in the crowd. How do I want to see the artist come out? What kind of energy do I want to see him come out with, or he or she come out with? And that's kind of the mind frame I put myself in, you know? I'm just always there to give people a good time. And it's like, I feel like performances for me, I've kind of gotten into the mindset of like, okay, this is now a time where I can connect with the people, like on a personal level, you know? So now all my performances, I really try and make the people feel appreciated as well, you know, for being there and just taking the time out of their day to really support creatives, you know? Yeah. So that's the one thing I'm always keeping in mind now, really, really kind of building that relationship and that energy with the people that are listening, you know?
I've definitely like became a fan through watching some people perform. Like there was some artists I didn't really fuck with, and then I watched them perform and I'm like, okay, I like them now. And I think that's really important. That's star quality. If I can watch you perform and then you turn me into a fan, like, you know what you're doing, right? So that's definitely important for sure. But have you ever had a bad performance? Like everybody has their one, two, where they're like, damn, that was embarrassing.
Bad performance. I wouldn't say it was a bad performance. I just feel like just things didn't go my way. So it was for Canadian Music Week. This is maybe 2018, I want to say. And it was at some venue like in Kensington Market. But like literally the sound just kept shutting off, or like I would go near the speakers and it'd be feedback, and like just everything technically that you wouldn't want to go wrong in a performance went wrong that day. But I handled it very, very, you know, like the way I would want to handle it. So I'm proud of myself for that. But that was kind of like the one performance for me that I was like, fuck, man. But also just in terms of whatever you're doing in life, you need to fail, or some things need to go wrong so you can learn and you can grow.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because if everything went perfect in your life, then you wouldn't know how to handle the L's. You wouldn't know how to handle the hardships and overcome those obstacles. You know what I'm saying? So
especially when you're trying to be an artist, like you have to be able to take criticism and the letdowns, the L's.
Yeah, you know, I think being an artist or being any creative, like that's the biggest thing is really the mental game, you know, because you're handling so much adversity all the time.
Exactly.
So it's like if you can just really train your mind to always look at it kind of glass half full mentality, like you're golden, you know? And that's kind of like one thing that me and my team always trying to kind of just put out there is like the positivity, you know? And just like doing everything with like love and intention and just being grateful during your process, you know?
Exactly. And if you can give any artist any piece of advice that's like starting off, that feels like, you know, I keep failing, doors keep closing on me, what's something you could tell them to let them know, like, keep pushing through? Because you're well on your way to the top. Like, let's be real, right? Of course, it wasn't easy in the beginning, but once you get through those doors, it's all up from there.
Yeah.
So what's your advice to them?
I mean, I'm still growing for sure, but one thing that helped me was just have undeniable, unwavering, just like faith in yourself, you know? Like you really have to know where you're going and the level you could take it to before anyone else does. because I truly believe that it all comes from within you, you know? Someone could tell if you're not sure about yourself, you know? Like, it just, energy doesn't lie, like, at all. And I've been around bigger artists that felt more insecure than me, and I've been around, you know, artists that weren't as big that felt so secure about themselves, you know? So I feel like the one thing that I could tell any new artist or creative or whatever it is just believe in yourself. Like, believe, and everything else is gonna fall into place, you know? Like,
is that why you got that tattoo?
I think that kind of like just put it in stone for me now.
I have to ask, like, what made you think, like, let me fuck it?
Honestly, I've always been into tattoos, but like this tattoo, I was kind of just like, I was thinking on it for a while, and I was completely sober as well when I got it.
Really?
Yeah, like so sober.
I didn't expect that.
Like dead ass sober. But it was one of those things where I was kind of just like, man, like I always wanted a face tat, you know? And I was like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm just gonna fucking do it. I'm not gonna get like something over there.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was. I'm not gonna lie, I was. I was just like, after it was done, like I looked at myself for a good like half hour. I was like, wow. I was like,
what did your mom say?
Oh, she didn't talk to me for like a month.
Of course. Well, I mean, a church lady. Come home with that.
Yeah, she didn't talk to me for like a month, man.
My mom would head straight to the church.
Oh
like if I came home with that, she'd be like,
I felt so bad.
To church right
Honestly, I really felt bad because like you know how like foreign like parents are, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it was more so like one of those feelings like, man, like how do they view me? But honestly, like this doesn't change who I am as a person, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's kind of like how I try to come at them. I was like, yo, I'm still the same. I'm still the same kid.
You gotta show them like it doesn't change
you know, anything. It doesn't change anything. Yeah. But I was definitely nervous. Yeah, I think that like it took me maybe like a week to get used to it, that I had something on my face like that. But now it's become such a part of me, like, you know, such a part. Like I wake up and like I don't even realize that it's there. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, you gotten used to it. Right?
Yeah, so used to it.
And what was your inspiration behind your hair? I honestly like it.
Thank you.
Which is surprising because like it's such a crazy hairstyle.
Thank you.
To be honest, it's pretty crazy. Not in an
I gotta get it
way.
re-dyed.
That's a good thing. No, I like it a lot, and it actually suits you, which is pretty hard to pull off as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Who was your inspiration? Like, who told you to do that?
No one really told me to do it. Like, so I would like before I had long black hair, like long, like up to here. And I was just getting it just getting it braided in like cornrows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I guess kind of whenever I really started to kind of come into my own as an artist, I just wanted to do something different and kind of just stand out and build my brand and build my image, you know? So, and that's kind of how it started, to be honest.
I like it. It makes you stand out.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you. Yeah.
Like when, you know, we were like in the DMs, like that's something that caught my eye.
Yeah,
like I saw your page, I was like, what was guy's
just,
hair? Like,
yeah, just different. And that's the one thing about myself as well, is I'm always trying to just push it in terms of just being an artist, being a creative.
Yeah.
You know, like
your own individual.
Yeah, like it's 2022. It's like music is one component of being an artist, you know? There's so many things that go into it.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm always just kind of looking, how can I kind of reach that level of artistry that I want to see myself at, you know?
Exactly.
And image is part of that. So it's like I've always taken that seriously, but when I was really starting to come into my own and kind of stop caring what people would think and stuff like that, I was like, fuck it, let me just...
I mean, as long as you like how you look, that's all that matters, right?
Exactly.
Especially in Toronto, like, you have to stand out. There's so many people here. Like, it's a big fucking city. You have to do something to stand out.
It's big, but it's so small, too.
I feel you. I feel you.
And everyone says that. Everyone about Toronto, like, they always say it's so big, but it's so small, you know?
It's true. People who are from here say that. That's why. People who aren't from here are like, yo, this shit's like New York. I don't know where I'm going. And people who are from here are like, what do you mean? I know this person, that person, that person.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But talking about Toronto, you've collabed with a few Toronto artists before, no?
So not as many as I would like, but I've collabed with Devontae Woe before.
Oh, that's good.
That was last year. We did a record.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's the homie.
That's dope. You should definitely collab with like more Latin artists, you know?
Yes.
Like
I have a couple records with Bowlznbeatz. They're just not out
exactly.
yet. So I have these records with these artists. It's just that it hasn't. They just haven't seen the light. You know what I'm saying? But I hope that in the future, you know, we all get one and we all just get something going. Even like a collab track with like all of the artists. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. No, I think that's a good idea. Actually, you should do that. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hard video. Because honestly, a lot of from kind of my like knowledge and kind of just like studying the genre and things like that, a lot of the records that blow up are collab records
of course.
in the Latin industry, right? And like,
it's true.
A lot of the remixes blow up.
I mean, Table Tay was like,
that's what I'm saying,
the fucking biggest.
And it was like 7 minutes. And it was like 7 minutes long.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it was a remix, so it's like that for me kind of put things into perspective, where it's like, let's just work. You know, and the music's gonna speak for itself. It's like, if it's a great record, it's a great record. And if you have more people on board, that's just more support, you know. So
it's a win for everybody.
Exactly.
Why not?
Exactly.
And Toronto's the perfect place to do that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely trying to just collab a lot more and be more active in that sense, you know, just kind of partnerships, brand deals, things like that, things that are collaborative in a sense, you know. As a creative, that's like your biggest outlet, you know, is to really be with the people that you want to surround yourself with, you know. So why not kind of dabble into that lane and take it as far as I can go, you know.
Exactly. And what do you think the Toronto music industry is lacking right now?
Lacking Baby Boy.
Good answer.
No,
Perfect
honestly,
answer.
I think we have a really, really solid in terms of talent. I don't think it's lacking talent. I think we have a surplus of talent.
Definitely.
I think the industry is lacking industry. You know what I'm saying? I think we just don't have like the foundation to really put ourselves on the map like that. You know, obviously guys like Drake, The Weeknd have done an amazing job in opening doors and kind of putting that light on Canada. But I think that's the one thing we need right now, is kind of just more support for our artists, you know, more outlets that we can be heard. Because obviously it's like in the States, it's such a fucking big country. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they have the outlets, they have the avenues to really push their creatives. The one thing I'd want to see more is that, just like more outlets for us to be heard. You know what I'm saying? On a serious level, because there's so much talent in the city. Like so much, you know, like some of my favorite records come from the city. So it's like, you know, and from artists that aren't even big.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that's the one thing that the industry is missing, is like actual industry, you know.
And it's nice because I don't know about you, but I've been noticing that this summer that there's been more events.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like more display of artists, and I'm like, oh, they're listening. Like they're listening to the people. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Like for example, Badio Music Festival. Shout out Boy Latino, Jonah right here, our own studio. You know, for putting that together. As you can see, they're displaying Latin artists, which we've never seen before. I've never seen any like Latin festival here.
No, never.
You know what I mean? Like anything really, anything
Yeah.
other than like the typical Veld.
Yeah.
You know, the basic mainstream. I've never seen anything really held
I
for
will
cultures.
I will say this though, it's like one of the things, because I used to do a lot more English music, and one of the things that I want to start doing is kind of taking the fan base and the connections I've made in that sense and bringing my vibe to it, you know. So it's like I just did a Kappa event, shouts out Kappa, and that was an Anglo-English based event, you know. But I performed 3 Latin records and 1 Spanish record. So for me, I feel like that's kind of my role in all this, in the big scheme of things, is to kind of introduce a very kind of Caribbean dominant culture in Toronto, introduce the Latin into it, you know what I'm saying? And I've been doing that to some events, because I've been kind of hosting a lot more like English based events, and I'm performing my Latin records, and they're bringing me out as this Latin artist, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And it's cool to kind of see the reaction and to kind of see how music, even though you don't understand the language, it brings people together.
You still fuck with it.
You know what I'm saying? So for me,
white people love that shit.
Yeah, you know. So for me, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, if I have the opportunity to put on for my culture, my people, going back to kind of the whole thing, like at a place like Veld, amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously, it's so good that we're doing Barrio, and we're pushing kind of the Latin culture forward. But in the meantime, while that builds, why not influence? You know,
make it more mainstream.
Yeah, make it more
I feel
mainstream. You know what I'm
you.
saying? Like have a Latin artist at Oshiega, have a Latin artist at whatever it is. You know, like Electric Island just passed. Like, You know,
it's true because
like,
when I go overseas, like it's all about Latin music, Afro beats. Like it's not like here where we're focused on rap. And,
exactly.
Underground,
it's different.
grungy
it's
shit.
Different.
Like it's a completely different vibe, and I fuck with it. I love it. So I love to see that Toronto's starting to bring those vibes here too, because I feel like that's what we're missing. It's the unity and those vibes.
The unity, that's what it is, and that is literally just me being Spanish. Like you go to any barbecue, you go to any whatever it is, like yo, you're familia. Like from the minute you walk in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even though you're yellow, purple, black, white, whatever it is,
it's true.
It's your family and you're welcomed. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing I love about being Latino is just that, the welcoming and just the vibe. So that's definitely like this is bigger picture, obviously, but that's the way I think as an artist.
It's very true. It's
how
true.
Can apart from music, what is my purpose? And I think like I've always been that type of person to kind of give love and show love and bring people together. So that's definitely always at the back of my mind. How can I bring the unity? Like this, we live in a fucked up world right now. It's like if I can do my part in being a light, let me do that, and let me also kind of use my creative ability and my artistic ability to do that as well. So I'm always just trying to piece together different things that I can do for the culture,
That's awesome. Yeah. I honestly love that because, being someone, I'm not Spanish, but I speak Portuguese. So I can catch like a 1-2 when I hear the songs, but even when I don't understand, it's just the beat, the production behind it. That's what makes you connect with the song. Like, I don't even have to understand what you're saying, but I know what the vibe is. I know what's up. Like, you can just hear it in the song. Sure. And I feel like if we brought that onto, the Canadian scene, it'd be like a crazy hit. And you're going to be one of those people, right? One of the OG pioneers in 100%. A couple of years when it's mainstream.
That's what, that's the vibe. That's the goal, Like, I see how far me and my team can take it. And
exactly.
Really, the only limitations are the one that we put on ourselves. So it's like, as long as, like I said, going back to the belief, as long as you really believe it and you have a team that supports you and you guys are all kind of working like a machine to get these things done and roll out the vision, it's really just a bulletproof plan, Like if you have the chops and you have, you have the heart to do it, anything's possible.
Dream it, plan it,
yeah,
do it.
Exactly. literally, and you just see it. Like that's really the only blueprint. I just feel like for success in any industry is literally the relentlessness and the consistency.
Yes.
And literally the faith just to keep going. Because at the end of the day, it can only go one way, and that's up.
It's true. And if you don't believe in yourself, you can't fool the universe.
No.
It knows. It knows. You really gotta believe in yourself. I mean, clearly you did. You got your motherfucking tattoo on. If that's not speaking to the universe, I don't know what is. But before we wrap up this interview, tell our audience what you have going on for yourself and where we can see you at upcoming shows.
Amazing. Yes. So, Barrio Latin Festival, August 20th. I will be hitting the stage at Downsview Park. The next day after, I perform with Pisces in 1111 at the Drake Hotel.
Jeez.
In terms of music, I have an EP coming out called Frecuencias, and that's going to be mainly Latin based, but more so just showing different sides of me in that kind of genre. So it's not really going to be reggaeton. It's going to be there's some 80s kind of dance pop on there. I'm really excited to show you guys. He's
expanding his music.
Yeah, the production is gonna be on a different level for sure. Awesome. And yeah, just a lot more videos. I want to do a lot more videos and put myself out there as well on the visual aspect. So yeah, that's what's coming up right now. And you guys can find me on the socials at BEBEBOY World, BEBEBWRLD. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. It was an honor, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys, I'm gonna put his handle here so you can follow him on all his socials. Go. Thank you for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, all that good shit. Word on the streets, it's Bowlznbeatz. Bye.
Let's get it.
Later.
Fire.
That was so good.
Yeah, that was so good. That was so good. That was sick. Yeah.
Thank you.